Herman, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I haven't talked much about this, but I'm confused, and maybe you can help me out. I respect your opinion.
All right.
This Georgia Senate race
Yes.
for Saxby-Chambliss seat has, I think it's 7. It's hard to keep count, but I'm getting more and more things in the mail, more and more things, Herman, ads on TV and what have you, and it's pretty confusing, with 1 or 2 exceptions.
Right.
They all kind of color themselves the same way in terms of what their characteristics are or how they position themselves.
Right.
Can you help me filter this down to 1 or 2? Do you have an opinion on how this race is going and 1 or 2 of the leading candidates in your mind?
Well, first, on the Democrat side, you have Michelle Nunn and practically nobody else. She has a Democrat who's who supporting her. They are basically trying to clear the deck for her, such that she basically is running unopposed on a Democrat ticket. And I've looked at that list of who's who of the people supporting her, and anybody that's ever been a Democrat, that's ever held high office, including the former President Carter, are all supporting her. But there's one problem there. If you go to her website to see what her accomplishments are, her accomplishments match her last name. None. And you know, and that's unfortunate. I went there to look and see what is she running on, and she doesn't have any accomplishments she's running on. Now let's go to the Republican side. There are about 6 or 7 candidates, and the ones that are serious in the race, 3 congressmen, Congressman Phil Gingrich, Congressman Jack Kingston, and Congressman Paul Brown. So 3 congressmen are running to try to get that Senate seat. You have former Secretary of State Karen Handel, she's running. And then you have a businessman who, like me when I ran, had never been in office. He is truly the outsider, and his name is David Perdue. Okay? Those are the people running. So really, the choice in my mind boils down to, do you want a congressman, or do you want an accomplished businessman who has turned around a company? He has run corporations. He knows how to solve problems. And I'm not allowed to do any sort of formal endorsement. But I would say if you start looking at those individuals, I think you're going to make the right decision.
Well, I made the right decision in voting for you for just those reasons.
Yeah.
Your background. We need to get away from, it seemed to me, the groupthink or herd mentality of,
yes,
of the inside the beltway mentality.
Right.
And you stood out from that crowd. Sorry you didn't make it, of course. I hosted a party for you down here in Peachtree City, and when you were running, and
I remember that. That was the only party the only one that I had at Peachtree City. I remember that.
Well, meet and greet. And,
yes.
I mean, that's an irrefutable message or
yes,
criteria for selecting somebody these days.
I got you.
I think you're right about Perdue. So, I don't know, I appreciate that. That helps me narrow the field.
Well, I think
all I had to do is make the same selection that I did for Herman McCain and apply it to this race.
Well, you see, my rule is I don't endorse anybody formally during the primary. I let them fight it out. But whoever gets the Republican nomination, I'm going to support them in a way that I can. But let me just say, I love Perdue chickens. You know, the chicken people. You know,
sure.
That, you know.